Okay. Guess it's the last one, so...
Manager, have you heard any strange sirens around here?
Sirens? PubSec should have all cleared out by now.
Oh, is that so? Maybe I just misheard. Is all this overtime giving me tinnitus? Guess I'll need to ask Chief for a day off once this is done. But on second thought, this month's reports haven't been reviewed yet, and the summary report for this incident is still unwritten. If I delay any further, next month's work will be postponed too, and coordination with upstream and downstream departments will run into problems. Turns out taking a full day off is too much to hope for. A half day should be enough.
Enough with the mumbling. It makes me feel like I'm drowning in work. I'm so stressed that my ears are ringing.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, Manager. Please excuse my rambling. So it really is a siren. Seems I wasn't hearing things. Those autonomous mechs must be around here.
Autonomous mechs? You mean there are still PubSec mechs in this area?
Yes. When the Hollow disaster broke out, the nearby precinct dispatched a batch of autonomous mechs into the Hollow to clear out the ethereals and help evacuate refugees. But some of them lost connection due to ether activity, and their location remains unknown. It's likely they've been corrupted and are now completely out of control. If we don't intervene, they might cause trouble for the investigation.
Just leave it to me. You go get some rest and stop pushing yourself so hard.
Despite the fact that we're
Really,
using
Manager?
Yanagi and Miyagi.
I'm counting on you then. An unexpected Hollow disaster, autonomous mechs losing control. If we can figure out what happened during the disaster, we might improve our prevention systems and reduce unnecessary losses in the future.
Oh, that's a new one.
It's pointless to resist. Waste of time. Let's finish the job. Good
kind of password is this? Why is there an IP address there? That doesn't resemble a code. That resembles an IP address. Figures that's the code. Uh-huh.
Victory, the only option! Roger, such provocations don't go unanswered.
What the heck? Uh-huh. Those bang boo sexuals. Dang, really? Oh my god.
Resistance is futile.
This is just silly now.
Okay, good luck. I'm unstoppable. It's pointless to resist. We're finally done. Thank you so much for your help, Manager. Based on the information I've gathered so far, there's still room for improvement in the response strategy for this particular type of special hollow disaster. Once I'm back at HQ, I must write a report on this as soon as possible. Don't look at me like that, Manager. I'm just feeling a little dizzy.
Uh-huh.
No way. You've been working too long without rest. If you keep going like this, your body won't hold up.
I can't. Not yet. We're just getting started in this hollow. If I stop now, the workflow will be disrupted. This is more than just completing a mission. It's about meeting the expectations people have for Section 6.
Expectations? I see.
When the city is thrown into chaos by a disaster, and PubSec is occupied with evacuating civilians, it's up to Section 6 to step in and become the blade that blocks the hollow. And not just me. Chief, Asaba, Sakaku, everyone's pushing through to get the job done. As for me, I'm the one supporting them from behind. That's why I can't falter now.
If possible, let me be the one to support you. At the very least, I can help you share some of the workload.
Thank you, Manager. That's true. With you here, I feel like even working overtime isn't a big deal. Oh, I didn't mean for you to work overtime. I just meant... because you're here, I can keep going until everything's done. By the way, after we're done here, do you want to swing by the bakery nearby? They have the best red bean buns.
Oh dear. And I think that's it, though. All these missions. So all that's left for me to do is actually wait for translation issue to be fixed. The translation issue to be... We'll be done. There's literally nothing left to do, to be honest. Guess I can read over all this now. The first irradiant crystal uncovered by Section 6 during the Melenoe disaster relief suppression operation was collected by Chief Miyabi while she was scouting. Irradiant core, another shiny new term coined by the Institute, and one that inevitably means more reports piling up on office desk. Yet the disaster itself is no exaggeration. The irradiant phenomenon seems to amplify the unique traits of ether, though it also brings catastrophes of equal magnitude. Otherwise, public security wouldn't have requested such high-level support from HSO, especially after that incident. Melenoe. An irradiant crystal discovered by the Chief during the advanced exploration of Melenoe. Ether, by nature, harbors deep-seated hostility toward anything non-ether, but its malice is anything but random. Specifically, corruption strikes faster and more intensely on things with souls, whether it's flesh and blood beings or mechanical citizens who pass the test. Hollows seem to hold an especially profound grudge against the most vibrant forms of life. Melenoe, however, is an exception. As the companion hollow of the Persinas, it inherited its mother's strange, unique traits. The land and structures here are disturbingly pale and fragile, scars left by the relentless assault of extreme corruption, and it looks very, very boring to the point that I fall asleep. Ether architecture. An irradiant crystal recovered by Chief Miyabi during the purge operation in Melenoe's inner perimeter. The irradiant phenomenon exacerbates Ether's instability, but also makes its activity easier to influence. The Institute seized this opportunity to develop the Ether Disruptor Probe, a tool capable of influencing even manipulating Ether to a limited degree. While its current applications are limited to connecting paths and altering terrain, it is already a monumental breakthrough. The members of Section 6, though adept in both combat and strategy, lack in-depth knowledge of such advanced devices. Fortunately, with a proxy's assistance, Chief Miyabi managed to forge a clear path for those who would follow in her footsteps. General Scouts. An irradiant crystal discovered by Chief Miyabi during the advanced exploration of Melenoe's core. In the face of the Hollow, there is no distinction between a general commanding the base and a soldier charging into the fray. Both stand equal before its relentless threat. The HSOs prepared to sacrifice their lives to stop its advance. Chief Miyabi, however, always bears dual responsibilities, as a void hunter capable of rapid support across the battlefield, and as a vanguard that's always on the front line. From slaying the deadliest ethereals to the menial task of collecting rocks, she performs her duties with unparalleled efficiency. Note, next weekend is the Chief's routine scheduled leave. Irradiant Carrot. The Irradiant Carrot data obtained by Miyabi with a proxy's assistance. The terrain of Melenoe has been shattered beyond recognition due to the corruption. Essentially, it's the irradiant core that exacerbates the Hollow's distortion of spatial structures. In this shattered labyrinth, our usual guide, the carrot, has become unreliable and fleeting. To address this, the White Star Institute developed a specialized mapping algorithm tailored for the irradiant affected Hollows, resulting in the aptly named Irradiant Carrot, which frankly sounds like the next trendy GMO veggie at the supermarket's hot picks section. Section 6 might not be famed for their technical knowledge, but with the proxy's help, they successfully recovered their Radiant Carrot from a bamboo workbench. White Star Class Nanny. The irradiant crystal collected by Chief Miyabi during a decapitation strike in Melenoe's core area. Allegedly, this was only retrieved after a detour, all thanks to a very persistent Institute researcher. I hate teaming up with those Institute geeks. Those nerds, we're their nannies. Such gripes are common among the executive branch. To be fair, White Star researchers' obsessive dedication to their work often creates extra headaches and risk, but I can't deny their sincerity and idealism. It's probably their way of safeguarding new Eridu. So it's not the worst thing in the world to play the role of a babysitter every now and then. Probably. Survivor. Crystal recovered by Sokaku during the rescue mission. Technically, rescue operations aren't a part of her assigned duties, but there's no way that girl would turn a blind eye to something like that. An excerpt from a public security report reads, since the third Hollow disaster, citizen survival and self-rescue seminar earlier this year, natural survival rates in Janus Quarter have risen by 8.24%. Not much, but something's better than nothing. Public security defines natural survival rate as the percentage of civilians who survive until rescuers arrive. Let's be honest, it's probably less about the seminar frequency and more about the rescuers getting there faster, don't you think? Rookie Mentor. An irradiant crystal obtained by Asaba while mentoring HSO's new squad members during an operation. Due to the chief's heavy responsibilities, not to mention her unique reputation and position, the new recruits would most likely be intimidated by her. Sokaku, while highly capable in action, isn't quite adept at handling administrative tasks yet. Asaba, on the other hand, is most fitting choice for the role of mentor, apart from me, of course. That said, his overly laid-back attitude seems to have earned him the reputation among the new squad members. Hopefully this doesn't undermine their trust in him. Then again, there are always rookies who prefer a relaxed and easygoing senior, aren't there? $99 plus 2 dues. This crystal was discovered while the proxy who found it during the suppression of the out-of-control public security mix. This month's reports remain untouched, and the summary of the Melenoe incident is still unwritten. If I keep putting it off, next month's workload will spiral out of control, throwing both overseeing and subordinate departments in disarray. At this point, I'm not even sure if the sirens ringing in my ears are the echoes of stress-induced hallucinations or the roars of out-of-control autonomous mix. Initially, I had my concerns about the chief bringing the proxy into the operation, but when things were at their worst, I was grateful to have them there and to lend a hand. Lucky one. An irradiant crystal collected during a rescue mission by Section 6. Unfortunately, our rescue target ultimately didn't make it. Bang Boo, self-rescue training, emergency defense kits, and civilian-grade corruption aid packages. All these means and efforts aim to help citizens hold out in the face of the sudden break of a hollow disasters until rescue arrives. We all know the cruel truth. The key to being a survivor is to survive. Our work is merely a struggle to grasp the fleeting possibilities, trying to tip the scales ever so slightly against fate. Completion certificate. The second irradiant crystal was retrieved by Asaba while mentoring HSO's new squad members during an operation. Asaba's guidance missions went smoothly, and the rookies have nothing but praise for Harumasa Masa's senpai. Comments range from "he offered great support whether it was dealing with the ethereals or just helping us take out a week's worth of garbage" to the more perplexing "Harumasa senpai wasn't on site at all. But that rescuer Bang Boo he sent was super reliable." I can't help but wonder, did Asaba offload more of his task onto the proxy again? Reward. This crystal was found during a suppression mission by Proxy and me. I promised Proxy that once the mission was over, we'd go buy some red bean buns together. Come to think of it, every thank you gift I've ever given the Proxy has been red bean buns. Actually, all my treats for Section 6 are always red bean buns too. What if they don't even like the buns that much and are just accommodating my taste? Next time I'll get something different, thanks to the Proxy and everyone else. Red bean croissants? No, maybe red bean mochi instead. Enough of the red bean. Betrayal. The Irradiant Core unleashed an intense corruption effect that rapidly overtook the intelligence of the public security's autonomous mechs, resulting in heavy losses for the advanced squad. By the combined efforts of the Chief and Proxy, these out-of-control mechs would have caused even greater disruptions to the rescue and investigation efforts that followed. This irradiant crystal was obtained during battle against one such corrupted autonomous mech. Hollow Special Operations Section 1. Section 6 takes pride in its absolute elite status, unmatched mobility, and unparalleled extermination efficiency. Thanks to unwavering efforts of the Chief, Asaba, and Sokaku, the team's rapid emergency responses and precision in neutralizing high-risk targets have become the pride of HSO. However, due to its small size, Section 6 can only manage a limited number of crisis events, often relying on the support of colleagues from other teams. Section 1, being the largest department within the executive branch, shoulders the bulk of the routine combat missions. This irradiant crystal was collected during a joint mission alongside Section 1 squad members. Faded. The complete evacuation of Melenoe's residence has turned this pale city into an empty, lifeless shell. The irradiant accelerates the ether corruption of inorganic matter, and I can't help but wonder if the cities now slumber within the hollows will someday lose all their colors like this one. This irradiant crystal was discovered in a faded corner of the city. The irradiant crystal was obtained by the Chief during a decapitation strike in Melenoe's core. Against the threat of the Hollows, Han, the Defense Force, and Public Security, the strongest militarized forces of New Eridu stand united to protect its land and its citizens. Or at least that's the ideal. Only every oath was made with the utmost sincerity. Yet when presented with an opportunity, humanity's selfish desires start to creep in. The Bringer incident has widened the rift between public security and HSO. However, It is precisely at such a time that unity is more critical than ever. Suspicion and distrust form a chasm more perilous than any hollow, something I understand all too well. Thankfully, the chief remains an unbreakable blade, enduring the weight of both humanity and the hollows. Miyabi's name stands not only as a pillar of strength, but also as a beacon, guiding flame lighting the way forward for us all. TB Hacker Tech. The proxy has an uncanny ability to extract vital things like encrypted municipal documents or foundational carrot data from the most ordinary bamboo workbenches. Yet, it's better not to dwell on the legality of. This line has been hastily crossed out. The technology is undeniably impressive, but the visual interface for boundary hacking that the proxy demonstrated to me looked more like a platformer featuring a bamboo as the main character. Then again, whether it's video games or hacking, these aren't my areas of expertise. So Radiant Carrot data was acquired during a Hollow investigation with support from proxy. Public security's efforts were far from fruitless. Without their timely actions, the loss of life and property would have been much worse. However, their reliance on mechanized equipment and autonomous mechs have left them at a significant disadvantage in Melenoe. In contrast, the HSO, with its focus on personnel combat prowess and small elite units, was far better suited to handle such a scenario. Meanwhile, the defense force, with its sheer scale and overwhelming firepower, tends to appear only in the most catastrophic situations. This irradiant crystal was obtained during the post-crisis operations while assisting public security. Ether Disruptor Probe Alpha 2. The Hollows wield power to warp reality itself, a power that naturally originates from ether. The ability to control ether is the ultimate dream, not just for the White Star Institute, but for all of New Eridu. Yet, for all our advancements, we've only managed to reduce ether to a fuel akin to firewood. A remarkable energy source, sure, one that barely scratches the surface of ether's true potential. The Ether's Disruptor Probe, however, offers a glimpse of that potential. Can untangle spatial knots twisted by the hollows, restoring spatial continuity. Or, to put it in terms Sokaku would understand, it's like rerouting both ends of a forked path to a converged one. Again, I'm not sure if that analogy would make much sense to her either. This radiant crystal was retrieved by doing that exactly, using the Ether Disruptor Probe to forge a path forward. Combat exercise. Chief often refers to her missions and battles as training or practice. But what is she truly training for? Forge herself into a peerless blade, unmatched and unseen before in this world? Carry the immense weight of the Void Hunter title with unshakable resolve? To fulfill the expectations of her family and father, perhaps? Or is it all in preparation for a destined duel? A battle that will mark the culmination of her journey. Final strike for which every battle thus far has been but practice. This radiant crystal was collected during one such training by Chief Miyabi, Melenoe. Last one, Endless. Though Section 6's mission in Melenoe has concluded, the authorities' attention also remains focused on the Irradiant Hollow. The HSO scoured every inch of Melenoe's grounds, yet a definitive solution to the Irradiant Core itself remains elusive. The end of one crisis is merely the prelude to the next. Section 6 and HSO have never wavered in their vigilance against the Hollow. This Irradiant Crystal was found during Section 6's final operation in Melenoe, marking a small but significant victory that's worthy of remembrance. And that's all. I guess I come back to do field manual stuff because I'm lacking 600. And I bought everything else already. Oh yeah, that's it for that.